All right. Look at the color difference from the ham and the pulled pork. You can see the cure really got into that meat. What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching the Mr. Big Kid channel. My name is Steve, and in 1 week, Easter's happening. So I've decided I want to make an Easter ham. Now, this isn't your typical ham that you would just buy at a store, you know, your honey baked, whichever. This is gonna be completely home cured. I'm gonna cure it myself. It's not actually a ham, it's a pork butt, but I'm gonna use the same concept as a ham, so I'm not gonna have skin or anything on it, but it's gonna cure for about a week. Now I'm gonna be curing it with some basic ingredients. One of the not so basic ingredients is the pink curing salt. We'll go into that in a little bit, but some salt, brown sugar, spices, and curing salt. Once the curing process is done, I'm gonna rinse it off and then throw it in the smoker. Now, I don't know how long it's gonna take to smoke, but I'm gonna try to plan accordingly. So I'm very excited to try this out. It's a recipe that I've tried before and it's freaking delicious. So let's get started. This is what I'm working with. I hope it's enough to feed everybody. It's 9 pounds of meat, so I think it's going to be. First thing we're gonna do is get our spices together. We're gonna get it boiling so we can make the brine, the solution. And then while that's boiling, we're gonna trim the meat, and that's it. In 7 days, I'll see you guys. We'll smoke it, but for you, it's gonna be pretty much right away because I'm not doing 2 videos, I'm doing 1 video. Anyways, stay tuned. Let's dive into this, let's have fun, and let's make something delicious. Let's do it. So right here, we have 2 cups of brown sugar. We have 1 cup of salt. We have a 1/4 cup of spices. Now this is a mix of pickling spices, sage, and it's got a little bit of cloves in there, and I added some black pepper on top of it as well. So we have a 1/4 cup of that. And then right here, we have 3½ teaspoons of pink curing salt. Now don't confuse this with Himalayan pink salt. It's completely different. This is actually somewhat poisonous if you misuse it. So this isn't something to mess with. There are online calculators to know how much to use it, but this is critical for any kind of cured meat that you do. This is gonna give the color to the ham, it's gonna give the flavor to the ham, and this is actually gonna cure the ham while it's sitting in its brine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring water to a boil. We're gonna add these 4 ingredients to that boiling water, and then we're gonna let it cool down. We're gonna then just take the ham and put it in the cold pot of water, and that's it. Here we go. So now we have the pot on the stove. We're gonna turn the heat on. We're gonna turn it on dual high. It's 2 little electric burners. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna dump this gallon of water into the pot. There we go, brown sugar, our 1 cup of salt, our 1/4 cup of spices, our 3 teaspoons of curing salt. And now we're gonna bring this up to a boil. All right guys, so what's nice about this cut of meat is that there's no skin on it, so I don't have to cut the skin off. Otherwise, really all I have to do is just trim this fat off. When you're curing the meat, you don't really need this surface fat, so I'm just gonna try to cut most of it off. There you go. I think that's pretty good. It's not crazy, but it's trimmed enough. So let's go with that. All right, so this has cooled down to just a tiny bit above room temperature. It's just warm, it's not cold, it's not hot, that's fine. We'll start with that. So here is the piece of meat, and then all we're gonna do is just dunk it into the solution and let it sit. The entire ham is inside, and now I'm gonna put this inside the refrigerator and let it sit for about 6 or 7 days until we're ready to smoke it. And that's it. I will see you guys in 7 days my time, 5 seconds your time.
2,000 years later.
We have about 6-7 days later, the pork or the butt has been curing in the solution. So I'm gonna take this out, put it on here. I'm gonna give it a quick rinse off. And then I think I'm gonna coat it in some brown sugar just to kind of give it that, you know, typical ham sweetness. And then we're gonna smoke it. I also have a regular pork butt, that I'm gonna smoke next to this one on the same smoker. So we're gonna have 2 cuts of meat. One's gonna be a pulled ham. The other is going to be regular pulled pork. So let's compare and let's get to schmocking. So before I finish dressing everything up, here's the ham and here's the pulled pork. You can definitely see a difference in the meat color. This one's taken more on like a dark, like a brownish kind of color. So, and that is what color the cure / brine is. So you can tell a lot of that brine is soaked into the meat, which is awesome. And then this one is just a piece of pork. It's got no seasoning on it. So salt, white pepper, garlic powder, brown sugar. That's it for this one, just brown sugar. This one's gonna be more of like a salty one. This is gonna go for a little bit of a sweet, salty kind of deal. I'm gonna dress them up real quick. All right, there we go. So we have the ham and the pork. So the ham, all I did was add like a brown sugar maple syrup. Just brown sugar maple syrup. Just kind of glazed it in that. This dude, I put some mustard on it first, then I did a layer of salt, and then white pepper, and then I did the same brown sugar maple syrup, and then I put another layer of white pepper, garlic, and salt on top. I know, weird flavors, right? But it tastes really good when you're done. So let's light the smoker and throw these things on it. There we have it. We are sitting at 130 degrees and 60 degrees centigrade. 60 degrees centigrade. These are looking good. You can totally see the difference in the ham. See how it's like, it looks kind of like prosciutto, almost kind of like it's cured a little bit. Whereas this one, wow, they both look so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, our temperature is sitting at 157 right now, and this one. So it's been smoking for probably, if I had to guess, around 10 hours. So I think it's a good time to wrap it. So we're going to use this, and I have a little bit of that brown sugar stuff, and we are going to wrap both of these guys in foil and just pour some of that brown sugar coating on top of it just to retain some juices. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna pour some of this just over the top of the ham, and then a little bit more just for this here. And then I'm going to seal up both of them right here. It. All right, so this guy, which is more of the heat source, is done. So I'll pull this one out, and the ham is almost done also, but just not quite yet. All right. Temperature is about 195 on this guy. Looks really good.
See it like slim here.
Yep. So I'm gonna try to pull. This is extremely juicy right now. So we just pulled the ham out of the smoker. Right now we're gonna do the pork. The pork finished a while ago. This came up to about 202 degrees or so. So the difference, obviously, with this one versus this one is this one was cured as a ham, and this one was basically just seasoned up real quick before I threw it on the smoker. So let's see how tender it is. Just rips up. You see this meat right here? Just totally falls apart. You can see the nice smoke ring on the side of that too. That's about a 12-hour smoke on this guy. Very tender. It falls apart, but does not seem dry whatsoever. Alright, the pork is done being pulled. It was so well done that it just slid right off the bone. Here's some. Alright, well, this is cured for a little bit. Right off the bat, you can see a big difference in color. It's a lot more red. So we're going to try to pull this guy now. Get it off the foil. All those extra juices I will keep. Alright. Look at the color difference from the ham and the pulled pork. You can see the cure really got into that meat. Color difference between the ham and the pulled pork is so much of a deeper red, but that's all that cure that's in that meat. It's delicious. Well, we'll see if it's delicious. You can see that color really got right to the center. It starts to lighten out a little bit as you get in the middle, but this was about a 7-day cure and a 12-hour smoke, and it smells fantastic. Wow. That's really good. It's like sweet, it's salty, and it tastes like a ham that's been smoked. Pulling it, I think, just really increases the flavor profile too, because it's all just mashed up already.
So great.
Alright guys, and here you have it. Can you guess which one's the ham? This one? Or this one? That's right, that one. The pulled pork was really good, but the ham is something like you've never tried before. Highly recommend you guys try it. It's worth it, I guarantee it. Thank you guys for watching, and if you guys haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification icon so you know when I release a new video. And happy shooting, happy barbecuing, and I will see you guys next time.